For the type of filming and film projects that we'll do, we definitely want to have some sort of planning done ahead of time. The planning is kind of like our blueprint and our structure and just to help guide and generate ideas as well. So for example, we've used this kind of table or planner before, thinking about different parts of stories. For example, the rising action, setting the scene, the climax, the falling action, and ending it. And then putting in different film shots that we think would work for each of those little parts there. So that was the purpose of this. And what the limitation of this is, we're using words. We're converting images and things we're seeing in our brain to words. And that can be kind of tricky to do. And another tricky part of that is if we want somebody else to understand our vision, they have to then try and interpret our vision through our words, which can kind of make things a little tricky. So that's why one thing we want to do is we want to use storyboards. I'm sure you've heard of storyboards before. I wouldn't be surprised if you've seen examples of storyboards or even made them before. Definitely, like, for example, if you watch the making of movies, you'll probably see, like, they got the whole wall full of different cells of what's going on in the movie. So the purpose of this lesson that you're checking out right now is we want to figure out, like, kind of like the why behind why are we making storyboards, which I essentially just explained. And then in terms of the expectations that we have for you for your storyboard in terms of 8th grade. So if we look at this example here, this is like a professional quality in terms of the artistry and the drawing quality. Like we can tell this is Harry Potter, and we can see what's going on in each scene pretty well. It's very nicely drawn. In terms of 8th grade artistic ability, we don't expect you to like be putting this much quality in your drawings. That's okay. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a little bit. But here's some key points here. So if we notice, we can see the character's expression. We can see where they're looking, what they're doing. We got some arrows here showing what kind of movement's going on. I can't tell right now if this means that the camera's moving or if the character's moving. We can definitely see what film shots are being used. So this is kind of like a close-up or extreme close-up. We got like an over-the-shoulder type of shot there, eye-level shot here. We have a low angle here. We can see like if there's action going on or some kind of effects. We can see props, what kind of props the character is using, what they're interacting with props, interacting with people. Another crucial part is seeing their environment. Where are they? What location are they in terms of like showing important aspects of that. So we can tell that Harry's probably inside of this castle here. This example that you see here, this is good. Like this is fine. It's mainly kind of a stick figure, most of it's a stick figure, but if you notice, we can see the stick figure's emotion. We can see the character's emotion, we can see what they're doing, we can see what they're interacting with. So let's go over the expectations together here. And one thing I want you to think about, like, so the storyboard itself, it tells the story. It clearly tells the story and what's going on. And one thing you can think of it, those of you that are interested in like graphic novels, manga, whatever you call it, comic books, graphic novels, those types of things, that your storyboard is almost essentially like a graphic novel. It's important that it be in order. So the first thing that happens first is in the upper left position, and we work our way to the right and then down. And notice that these are numbered, which is something that you'll do as well. Definitely want to try and convey the mood of the commercial or whatever the film piece is as well. So here are some of the other specific details. Just in terms of quantity, with a storyboard, you don't need to show every single cut of the screen or every single different film shot you're going to use, because that could get excessive. That just might get too much. But you should definitely show the majority of them and definitely the important ones, and again, try and convey the story, what's going on. If you have a 30-second piece, then doing, like, at the very least, you need 9 different cells. So if you're, like, 30-second commercial or whatever it is, you need at least 9 different cells. That's what this is. This is 9 cells here. If you're doing a 60-second type of piece, then you need at least 18 cells. So you would double this here. From the cell, the viewers can tell what the film shot is and what the composition is, or what at least was intended. So for example, if we look in this upper left here, you tell me what film shot are they trying to show here. What film shot would you say this is? Number 3, the storyboard makes clear what the environment or the background is. So we can kind of tell here that this is a school environment, and then maybe once we get down to here, maybe they're like, either that's still at school or that's at home working on the computer. That also then relates to significant props. So if we're going to show that the person is using a computer, or if that's important to the story that they submitted something, they're doing a storyboard and they're going to submit it, then that's an important prop that we want to show. If it's a wand, you show a wand. If it's a baseball bat, make sure it's kind of obvious, but make sure you show these important props. And that's something that should help you then think about when you're going to do your filming, what props do you actually need to bring with you? Section 5 here, this is all about the characters and what's going on with the characters. Very, very important things to show about them, like how many characters are there. So in here we got like maybe a classroom full of people, or at least 4 people. And here we're more so solo, maybe we have 1 person because we're just showing them thinking. Where are they in relation to the environment? Like are they at a desk in the front of the room, in the back of the room, or those types of things. Like where are they in the actual environment? If it's outside, are they in the forest? Are they far out of the forest? The props that they're using and how they're using the props. Body posture, like that's something we'll want to try and show with your drawings as well. Body posture, actions, movement, and interactions. So this, you can tell with this one that they're kind of like, huh? Like what's going on? Like shoulder shrug, like it even says in the words there that they feel overwhelmed. Important dialogue, so important things that the characters are saying. So if Harry Potter is saying Expelliarmus or saying some kind of spell or whatever, maybe you'd have that in like a text bubble or information underneath it. This is very, very crucial part here is facial expression. What should the actor be doing? So if they're kind of like I'm overwhelmed or stressed, we'll try and show that in their face. If they're a moment of clarity, an aha moment, then they're not going to look stressed out or like that. For each cell, we want some sort of information section. We have to list what film shot is intended. We should be listing any kind of important camera movement. If we're going to zoom out with the camera, if we're going to zoom in or pan, tilt, like those types of things, we should say what's going on. And then any kind of special effects that you're expecting as well. We put that stuff in like the information section. And if you notice for the information section for these cells, there's just some information underneath each cell, and that works perfectly fine. And again, I want to point out that if you notice, they numbered them as well. This here is an absolutely impressive example of a student storyboard. This is a student that made, they made about a 10-minute long film, and they had, I think it was like 200 some different cells, different slides. So each note card is a scene, film shot in what's going on, and that really helped them play around with their story and it really helped them develop their story and make it awesome. Here's one example. So number 187, as you can kind of see, this character is walking forward, this character is walking the other way, and then we got some dialogue there. For you, we don't expect you to create 200 cells for your project, as we said, depending on how long your thing is. Like about 9 cells per 30 seconds is a good start. This is the standard template that we will use. You're welcome to print this out so you can use it this way or draw it on your own paper, but it's just kind of easier and nicer if you print it out. A couple things to show you on this. Notice for each cell, we want to list what the film shot is and then the composition technique. So if we're doing rule of thirds, leading lines, whatever, we're going to put that above each cell. We'll replace the number symbol with the actual number, and then our drawing would go in this box, meeting our expectations, which I listed before. And then in here, other important information that you feel should be put, whether if the camera's moving, important dialogue, prop information, whatever. This is open for you to put in what other important information belongs in here. Some of you might have seen this commercial before. It's a pretty good one, but it's about a minute long. Your practice and your challenge, so you can show me that you're meeting expectations or attempt to meet expectations, and I'll give you feedback. Draw at least 3 different cells from this commercial. Pick anywhere in this commercial. It does not matter, but pick a variety. Don't just choose the first, 5-10 seconds. Like choose maybe a spot in 10 seconds in, then a spot at 30 seconds in, then a spot at 45 seconds in. Just kind of mix it up a little bit. So you're going to choose 3 different film shot kind of spots. And what I want you to do is, so from this commercial, I'm just going to let it play out. Choose 3 different spots. You can rewind and if you need to, and draw cells and put the camera information, the camera movement, dialogue, what's going on. So you're going to show me you can meet the expectations for storyboarding by using this commercial. This is our practice. Here we go. Let it play.
What does home mean to me? It's my sanctuary. It's the one place I can let my guard down. It's where I can just kick back and be totally comfortable in my own skin. You know what I'm saying? Rocket Mortgage understands that home is where I can be myself. That feels pretty darn good. Oh.
Home is where you feel the most comfortable, and Rocket Mortgage helps you feel comfortable financing that home with a personalized and convenient experience centered around you. Rocket Mortgage. Push button. Get mortgage.
You got this.
Take it.
Okay, all right. Good job.
Rewatch the parts of that commercial that you need to, and then choose, again, 3 different sections to draw to represent our storyboard expectations. Then show me in class, and I will give you feedback. Keep the storyboards in mind and think about how we are going to apply this to our own commercials and other projects. Thanks for checking this lesson out.